Hi there and welcome. My name is Mike Bankhead. I am your host. I am a bass player and songwriter from the Gem City, Dayton, Ohio. Note that I pronounced it like the locals here do. Day glottal stop in Dayton. Today, as promised and a little bit late, here's a conversation with Brandon Berry, who used to live around these parts. But now he lives on an island in Puget Sound, which honestly sounds like a lovely place to live. He directed my most recent music video, which was out this past Tuesday, June 21st. We barely talked about that. Why? Well, listen and find out.
Recording in progress. Yeah, I know. I've heard that before.
Hi, Brandon Berry. Welcome back.
Hey, thanks, Mike. Glad to be here.
What is that? It looks like you're wearing a bathrobe.
That's very astute. That is what I'm wearing. Why can I not see you?
Because my camera is acting up, and instead of taking 30 minutes to fix it, I figured we could just have this conversation. Okay. You know what I look like. You don't need... I'll tell you what, if you want to use your imagination, I'm actually wearing less than you right now. And I don't own a bathrobe, so I am in house slippers and boxers, and that's it.
That's everything I'm wearing plus a bathrobe.
Right. See, so I'm actually less dressed. I see you're having... Oh, you gave up coffee, so that's got to be like vodka or something, right?
No. I did not give up coffee. When did I say that?
I feel like you told me that once. You gave up being an idiot. That's what it is.
I took it easy on the coffee. I'm also taking it easy on basically everything else. I do love Cheez-Its, though, and that's my vice lately.
Well, I guess if you're going to go for processed, mass-produced food, one could do worse than Cheez-Its.
Yeah.
The reason I'm having you on today is because I really miss you. But the real reason is you directed yet another music video for me, and I'd like you to tell the people about it.
Well, since the last time we talked, I actually directed 7 or 8 of your videos. We never talked about the others.
No, we didn't. Would you like to?
Oh, that's up to you. I mean, I don't know what you want me to say about them, but I will go into it, sure.
Well, here's the thing. I think you did fine work, and the view count on those is really a lot lower than it should be, considering the amount of effort that you put into it.
Well,
let's try to get those numbers up.
What is it that is hindering them so much, do you think?
I don't know enough about YouTube or algorithms or how that works to know.
Well, a part of it might be because I took a huge break off of Facebook, meaning I deleted it. And I don't really tweet all that much. And my Instagram can't really share much there in regards to videos when like I could share pictures, whatever. But I was just wondering, like I do my own little promoting through like personal messengers, right? So I'll send out these videos to people, but you might not see it in like a public forum. That's my way of promoting, and I know it's not the best. And technically, my job was to make the videos and you're the one to push them, but that's, I don't know. I have a problem with the algorithm. I was thinking about this earlier. I don't know if you noticed on my YouTube channel, I have almost 2,000 subscribers, right? And that's not Paint Splat stuff. No one, since I started Paint Splats, I might have gotten 5 more subscribers due to the music, right? The reason I have so many is that it was 2006, and I was a kid. You know this. You'll push it on me. You know how old I am. I took other people's videos because it was very easy to do at the time, and I would put them on my channel. say like some Guns N' Roses videos. I put Aerosmith. I was obsessed with like Steven Tyler and everything. So I'd take these videos, put them on mine, and I would get more views than the other people I stole them from, which is crazy. I don't know how it happened. And I got a bunch of subscribers from that. And those videos are no longer on my channel, right? But I once I started putting my own stuff on, I noticed I was losing subscribers because, oh, wait, this guy doesn't always post about Axl Rose. And I don't know where I'm going with this. I just wanted to tell you a little history of my high subscriber count on YouTube. That has nothing to do with my own merit, by the way.
I think what I've learned is I've got to get Axl Rose in one of my videos.
Well, see, it's not easy anymore, right? Like back then, like there wasn't this huge algorithm that was like pushing the best looking videos, right? So I have a feeling that no matter how good this thing that you're pushing is, quality wise, if it's not like 4K or at least 1080 and look and sound good, they don't care. And I'm not saying the stuff we put out wasn't that. I'm just saying that it's not Billie Eilish level production. And, you know, I can't help that. You can't help that. It costs a lot of money to do that.
Well, here's the thing. I think what you made was good art.
Well, thank you.
And more people should probably see it.
Thank you. Thank you. I had trouble working and doing those videos, to be honest with you, because you told me to do, I was doing 6 renditions of Hold the Wick after I did the first one, right? After we did the Real Love mix.
Yeah, starring, that was black and white. It was an homage to Bergman, yeah. Bregman's a third baseman. Bergman is not.
Yeah, I don't know about anything about that.
And it starred Dr. Jenny.
Yeah, and so you recruited me to do 6 more videos, and I was in San Diego, and I did all that I could to come up with ideas. Some better than others, and I know that, you know that. But it was difficult for me because I never had the challenge of doing essentially the same song, different feels, but the same lyrics that I had to work with the entire time, and have myself come up with all these ideas because you didn't know where to go with it. You just said, here, you take it.
I'm a musician. I don't make music videos.
I know, but one could argue that I'm a musician and don't make music videos until I did.
You're not a musician anymore, so.
Well, yeah, I make music. I just don't put it out. Don't really care to. I think it's all about, and I saw you tweet about this earlier. I did get on Twitter earlier today. I saw you have an exchange with Tino talking about how you should make music for yourself first, have you enjoy it before, the audience, essentially, right?
Yeah, I mean, how can I in good conscience ask a stranger to spend money on my art if I don't believe in my own art?
Yeah, I see. My problem is I don't want people to spend the money on it anymore. I know I have all these records that I'm using as furniture. I actually don't even have them here in Washington with me. I didn't bring a single Paint Splats merch thing. I gave away the rest of, I think I said this last time, I gave away the rest of the Paint Splats shirts to a homeless shelter. So there's probably a bunch of homeless people, hopefully homed people now, but wearing Paint Splats attire. I just don't care. I just don't care, man. Like as soon as those records came out, I started to hate it a little bit. I started to hate playing music. I liked it better when there wasn't a product involved. And I know that's just a part of the music business or whatever, but it's just not for me. I know that now.
Oh, you didn't have to have 500 records pressed or however many it was.
Well, I was stupid and I didn't do any research. I thought that was the minimum, but live and learn.
Yeah, it is not.
Well, I went out of Portland and I don't know. I guess I was just thinking per unit prices.
Per unit prices, you're paying less per unit if you order 500 than if you order, say, 100.
Yeah.
But then you have to move 500 units, or they're around taking up copious amounts of space, right?
Right. But yeah, I don't know, man. Lately, I've just been about joy a little bit. I've been about enjoying, which I just realized that joy is in enjoying. I don't know why I never thought about that. I guess is that the root?
I mean, you're an English major. How did you not ever think about that?
I don't think about all words, Mike. But my point is, you don't think
about all words, or you don't think about any words?
I read a lot of books now. I don't remember reading a single book in college, but I read. I try to read at least 2 books a week now.
How did you manage to get your degree without reading any books?
Well, see, when you say English major, you're thinking I'm like studying literature, but I was more focused on the writing portion. So like the creative writing aspect of it. I never really, in college, they just assume that like grammar, of course, because why wouldn't you? You should have learned that in elementary school. Yeah. But, I don't know, maybe the program just wasn't what I thought it would be. And, I definitely, I skated through that. And I did well somehow, even though I don't remember the last semester. But my point is, I'm enjoying things now like I didn't when I first met you. Like today, my hair's still wet. I just got out of the shower. Okay.
Yeah, I can tell.
Yeah. I was eating a nectarine, and it was the best because I thought about a few things. Not only was I eating a nectarine, I realized that I had food, but as I was showering, I realized I had water. And because I was showering, that means I have legs to stand on. And to have legs, you need to be alive. And I don't know, I just kept zooming out and out. And I just had a moment of realization that it's pretty unique for us to be here. And I'm glad that I am. And I don't think I would have said that 5 years ago.
Man, the West Coast has turned you into some kind of strange existential philosopher, dude.
I think about mortality a lot. And I'm sure you do too. It's hard.
The older you get, the more you think about it. Trust me on that.
Absolutely. I completely get it. I'm only 27. And I feel it looming every day. Someone told me the other day, and it's a quote from somebody, and I don't know the exact quote, but you die twice. One time when your body ceases to work anymore, and you go wherever you go after that. And the second time when your name is last said. And I kind of felt as though that was a narcissistic way of looking at it. We should just enjoy the time that we have here with each other, then try to promote what it is we're trying to promote in ourselves or something. I don't know what I'm trying to think of, but I just been thinking about that kind of thing lately.
You know that I really wanted to promote a music video via this conversation, and you're making it really hard to do that.
I'm sorry. I know.
I think it's hilarious.
I'm sorry. We could talk about the music video.
No, we don't have to talk about the music video.
No, obviously, this is why we're doing this. We're going to do it eventually anyway. But I just thought it would be nice to have this conversation with you because I know you think about these kind of things a lot.
Yeah. And honestly, this is the kind of conversation we have when we're hanging out. Yeah. I mean, our conversations will start on something completely frivolous and end up like this.
Well, and I'm trying to gather the right words through the stuff I'm reading to have insightful conversations about it, because these are big topics, but they're simple in a lot of ways, and I'm trying to find the terms to use in my. I'm not to proselytize or anything, but to just have meaningful conversations about this kind of stuff, because it happens to everybody.
So why don't you songwrite your way through it? Making art is one of the ways that people deal with those kind of thoughts. I mean, it's kind of how I deal with stuff.
Well, who's to say that I'm not? You know,
I might. You don't record it anymore, so we have no idea what you're writing.
Yeah, I might be writing about those things. I'm definitely thinking about them. I might be writing in different ways, you know, like, because I don't just do music, you know, I try to write in other mediums and try to express myself in different ways to well-round myself. I don't know. I think one of the themes that I really come back to all the time is the idea that we are slowly drifting apart, though it feels as though we are coming together in the age of technology.
By we, do you mean humanity in general?
I guess so. You think that I don't know a lot of the stuff how you felt when you were younger, but I got a taste of it, right, when I was very young. And it is a time that I long to go back to, which is why I don't really particularly like using my phone anymore. And I know this is so ironic, the way we're conversing right now, how we're having this conversation in different time zones. You know, it's going basically to space.
No, not basically. It is going to space.
It's going to space. And I don't know, like when I go home, and I know I'm going all over the place here, but when I'm back in my hometown, I don't get to see my parents very often, and, you know, they're getting older. My dad's 73. He's fairly healthy, but, you know, things can pop up at any time. And what I see is my parents, more so than myself, on their phones playing frivolous, stupid games, looking through whatever it is they're looking through, while I'm here, not for very long. And I would much rather just be in a room with them and not do anything than be in a room with them and they're on their phones and, I want to talk while I still can.
I feel like the problem with that is that you were born in 1996. 95, sorry, and not say 1965. Because had you been born in 1965, you would be able to spend all the time you wanted with your parents without them being on their phones.
But Mike, my point is that I wish my parents would see it that way too.
Have you said this to them?
Of course. They're addicted, or at least my dad is.
That's interesting, because they surely remember the before times.
Of course they do. But and I don't want to put this the wrong way, but they're simpler people than myself. Okay. Like, I'm more well-read. I have a degree, no matter if it's something that I didn't want to do or not. I have one. I went through college. The most my mom has is an associate's degree, right? At least she tried. But my point is, I think about all these things that we're talking about here, And I wish that I could have these kind of conversations with them too, but I don't know. It's not working out.
So my worldview is obviously different than yours, since I grew up rather religious and still am. And that appears to be the main difference in between, and the difference in the relationship that I have with my parents. And, my dad's, he's passed away now, but in the relationship that you have with your parents, because since I grew up with a strong faith, well, my parents had a strong faith, and I was encouraged to go figure out for myself what I wanted to believe. But since I grew up with a strong faith, there are certain perspectives on existentialism and what life means and all that stuff that my parents and I share. So despite the fact that I am very different than them, and obviously a completely different generation, and I see a whole lot of things in a completely different way, when it comes down to those really deep type conversations of the sort we're having, it's easier for me to talk about that with my parents because we believe the same stuff. That, to me, stepping aside from it and trying to think about it objectively, which is difficult because, we're people and it's hard to be objective. I just think that's interesting, the way that one's faith or lack thereof affects one's relationship with others.
Yeah. I often said that the last time I went to church was when I was 5, which I think that may be true. My dad grew up Catholic, and my mom was something not Catholic, but Christian. And my dad said one of his biggest regrets is not getting me baptized. And he said that not even that long ago, maybe 2-3 years ago. And I just thought, no, that train has sailed, the train has sailed. You know what I meant.
You have been very good at mixing your metaphors.
I know.
It's a sail train.
It's a sail train. But I guess my point is, I don't have any particular religion in place, but I like to learn about what other people believe. And I have always said, when it comes to religion, whatever it is that you believe and that enhances your life and it makes you happy with wherever you are, do that. And I've taken that same concept, but kind of mixed and matched whatever it is that other people believe, and kind of made my own worldview, right? And I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
No, you have to, everybody needs to decide for themselves. What you just said, there are two things I thought of. One, the decision on whether or not to get baptized into whatever faith, I find it odd that that's a regret your father has, because that should be your decision, not his. Should it not?
Right, but in the Catholic Church, at least, it happens very young. And
it does, and doctrinally, I might have some disagreements with that, but we're not going to go there. But that's something I observed. Is like, I feel like that should be your choice, right? And the other thing that you mentioned, and this is something that we have in common, which is probably why we get along, is that you are curious and interested in what other people believe. And I am also curious and interested in what other people believe. And at least in the United States, there is a culture among people that have faith to want to shut off from what anyone else might believe, whether they have faith or whether they're an atheist or agnostic or whatever.
Right.
There's so much just hurtful and divisive rhetoric and vitriol directed at people that are religious in a different way. And I don't get that. I like talking to Muslims and Buddhists and Hindus and Shintoists and whatever, because I like learning about people and listening to people and trying to relate to people. And you do too. Your curiosity is one of the things that makes you an interesting person.
And I've grown over the years concerning those ideas of not just putting someone down for what they believe, because I can't say that I've done that my entire life. There's no possible way, and I know that for a fact, that, you know, but my point is, I guess, and to yours, to expand upon it, is who are we to say that someone else is wrong with what they believe, whereas like we're going off whatever we believe? Who's to say that either one is right, per se, whatever that right means? Yeah, I don't know. Believe whatever you want to believe and make your life better that way, however that is, as long as you don't hurt other people. That's it. That's all I have to say.
Did you just pull a Forrest Gump?
I don't know, maybe. I probably did.
Yeah.
I don't know. We don't have to go into this anymore.
No.
It's just something that was on my mind as I was eating that nectarine.
We'll have to all that from a nectarine. We'll have to have you back and have an even deeper discussion.
Yeah.
And I know our worldviews differ, of course, largely because of my religious beliefs. But my religious beliefs tell me that all of us can make our own choices. Right? Like we get to choose. And I can't choose for you or for anyone else.
Yeah.
Not my right or my place. So yeah, and from a different direction, we have the same thought on that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I don't know why. I guess the last couple of years with obviously the pandemic, it brought us to really examine our lives and our inevitable deaths, because it felt like it was all looming on us. We didn't know like what was going to happen, and for some people, it didn't obviously work out for some, and it was hard not to imagine that you were next.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That said, you could be next. You could be headed down to the Home Depot, and some nutcase could walk in there with an AR-15 and kill 15 people.
Absolutely.
I could be driving on 675 on my way to a band rehearsal, and some terribly racist police officer who just feels like killing a black person today might pull me over and shoot me. Right? I mean, there's all kind of ways in which we could be next. But if you keep thinking about that stuff, you'll never leave your house, which is maybe why I don't leave home very often. Also, it's really hot outside. We're having a heat wave this week in the Midwest, record high temperatures.
I've heard it. It sounds horrible. A heat index of like 100, right?
I don't know because I haven't left, but I'm playing golf the next couple of days, and I will be experiencing it. I'm going to try to start early and drink a lot of water, but we have to get exercise, the doctor and the wife tells me.
Absolutely. Well, everybody does really, but it's a brisk 56 degrees here.
That sounds wonderful. I would take 56 over 91 any day.
I've been playing a lot of tennis. Yesterday I played about 3 hours, and it's
wow.
It's like not all at once, right? But
who are you playing with? Do you make friends?
Well, yeah, kind of. So Rachel, my girlfriend, she's a reporter on Whidbey Island here in Washington, and she reported on a tennis group that meets every Sunday, mostly made up of retirees, right? But they play every week and sometimes during the week too, and they're very good. Like they're beating me pretty bad first couple of days. But I went yesterday, and I used to play tennis in high school. I finally felt like I was back to the shape of tennis form that I was in high school. And it was a good feeling. I loved it. And that's what I've been doing lately.
Nice top spin on the forehand, a little slice backhand, that kind of thing. Put your serve where you want it, that kind of thing.
I'm getting my serve a little better, but that's my weak point. But I slice basically everything on purpose, by the way.
All right, side spin. I don't like playing people like you.
Sorry. Well, we'll have to play sometime when I'm back.
I would like to, and we never got around to it, but I'm pretty easy to beat because, one, I'm slow. Even when I wasn't super heavy, I was pretty slow. And I do have a pretty decent first serve, but it's flat. Like I can hit it, 105, 110 miles an hour, but it's flat. So if you can time it, it's coming back.
Yeah, well, that sounds like it's pretty fast.
Yeah, I've worked many times on a top spin when for second serve purposes, so it's not so easy to hit back. But yeah, I haven't been good at tennis since I was a teenager, unfortunately.
Oh man, I didn't know you played so much.
I used to, in the before times before I got old. So let's spend 7 minutes talking about straight up downhill from here.
Okay. Well, what do you want to know?
How'd you get the idea for that video?
So my original idea was to have 3 different characters in their respective states of downhillness. Like one was sleeping in a tent. Somebody was waking up under a pile of bills. And it just got to be too much to get all together within the time frame of a 3-minute pop song, power pop. So I decided on just doing the one character that was the strongest, which was Tino's character, who wakes up at the bar and then sees your band on stage and gets on stage and he's revitalized. He gets away from the drink. It's kind of a trite idea, but I tried to spin it in a way that was kind of fun and, colorful because of South Park Tavern's lighting rig, The
best part about that is that Tino doesn't drink, so it's hilarious.
Yeah, even better.
He's a good actor and a good sport.
Yeah, I thought he did really well. And I really like that song too. And I know you didn't write it, but your version is definitely different than Baby Molly's version. And I think it's unique to you. And I don't know, it's just, I don't particularly like filming live band stuff. And I did that in this one because it was the easiest way to do it in such a short amount of time. I wanted to have other narrative storylines, as I said, but I don't think it would have cobbled together as good as it did. But I don't know. What do you think? Did you come away with after watching that and thinking that it was about what you expected, or did you think otherwise?
Well, I don't really have a lot of expectations because, as we covered briefly, I don't have any expertise or ability to make videos. I will tell you that shooting day was fun and enjoyable. Might have heard the song a little too much that day, but that's what's going to happen when you're trying to make a music video. I hate seeing myself on camera. So if there was a way to do this without me being in it, that would have been my way to go. But I don't think we could avoid it for this one.
Well, man, the first couple, the first minute or so, it's basically all in slow motion, but you're the first shot that's not. And
yeah, it does stand out, that shot.
It stands out, and it's, I think in a good way. And I think you look kind of badass.
Well, thanks. Well, see, now I'm going to have to bleep that. I was going to try to get through this without any editing.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
So your acting has, and I know you've not done a lot or anything, you've not been on camera a ton, but in the short time I've known you, your progression of being comfortable on camera has been profound.
Oh, I'm not comfortable. I just try to pretend it's not there.
Well, that's okay. That's the whole point of acting, is to pretend that you know what you're doing. And you did. You pulled it off.
So you're actually pretty close to where Baby Molly lives. His government name is Liam Morrison. He is a citizen of Canada, and this year he moved from Toronto to Vancouver. And you are not far from Vancouver. Yeah, it would be cool if you all could like hang out and get a beer sometime.
Yeah, I'd be into that. We're only about an hour, maybe an hour and a half from Vancouver, I believe.
Yeah, I know. Sometime when we're not recording, I'll try to hook that up. I'll drop you an email and.
Sure, that sounds good. But yeah, if we, it'd be interesting though to make you a more rounded artist, Mike. I think it would be interesting for you to do more than just make the music. I think it would be interesting, and I know you've done a little of it with one of your previous videos, Wapa Kanata. You were more involved with the shooting process in the director's sense. But to do that more, I think you'll be more comfortable with doing it, and I think it'll open your eyes up to the possibilities of what you can achieve in with limited equipment.
Perhaps. The counterpoint is it's impossible to be good at everything. And I kind of want to write songs, record them, and release them. And that's already a lot.
Yeah, I understand. But in your free time,
whatever in the world that is. Brandon Barry, do you have any parting words for the audience? Assuming that by this point of the podcast, there still hopefully is an audience.
Do whatever it is in your own life that makes you happy, but just don't hurt other people while you do it.
That's pretty much your life philosophy, I feel.
It's my newfound philosophy, yes.
All right, well, thanks for being a decent human being and an interesting artist and directing videos for me and all that good stuff.
Absolutely. I hope it goes well. I'll be sure to share it.
Please do. Everybody go follow Brandon on whatever social media platform this week he decides to use.
Yep. Go find me.
Yeah, and I will talk to you later.
Okay, sounds good, Mike. Thanks.
Thanks again to Brandon Barry for taking the time to talk to me and for directing a lot of my videos. Thank you, dear listener, for being here. And please, I'm really proud of that video we put out on June 21st. Go find it, please, on YouTube or on social media. The video is called Straight Up Downhill From Here. The song is a cover. I had fun doing it. It was an entertaining video shoot. And again, I think Brandon did good work. I also encourage you to like or subscribe to this podcast, if you would please, wherever it is that you listen to podcasts. Thank you again, dear listener, for being here. Have a lovely weekend.